All right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Welcome back to my class. Yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. All right. Okay. Today we're gonna be dealing with. It's been a minute, but I'm so glad to be back and trying to get my viewing and my equipment better in order. And I hope you enjoy and I hope you like. As well as I'm hoping the same thing for this here session. Okay, this class is going to be called Domestic Recovery. And many 12-step programs like Alcoholics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and even Sex Anonymous, which deals with recovery and the recovering addict. Individuals recovering from a hopeless state of mind, body, and spirit. The first step is always the admission step and the surrender step. The definition of surrender is totally different, and this definition is totally different than the one that's used in times of war. This surrender describes surrendering to win, right? We can surrender to win. We be thinking that, oh man, I ain't supposed to surrender. I ain't supposed to throw up the red flag. I'm not supposed to do that, but look. That don't mean you a sucker. That don't mean you a punk. All that stuff you've been fed in the streets or in your hood or in your household have not always been the right thing that you've been told. So you can surrender. We can surrender. We can surrender, right, to win. We can surrender to win. Definitely, I know I've surrendered. I've surrendered. I'm tired of fighting things that I cannot whoop. I'm tired of being in relationships that there's no winning in there. So I'm tired of being mixed up with substances, drugs, or alcohol, or all those things that, have a vice on you where you really fighting does not help. One must surrender to win. All right. Number one, it says, do you do what you feel or do you feel what you're doing? When you get in situations, do you do what you do or do you feel what you're doing? Ask yourself that. All right? Might go over your head, but it's all right. Savor it. Suck it in. Let it process in your spirit. Do you do what you do, or do you feel what you're doing? All right? Number two. Did you know if the man is not in place in his relationship with his partner, significant other, wife, it puts the woman, partner, and family in a displace. If the man is not in place, if we men are not in place, it puts the family, ourselves, the woman, in a displace. Many times we want to blame the others. We want to blame, oh, it's her fault, oh, it's that fault, oh, it's the kid's fault, right? But if we're not in place, we want to call ourselves, we say and even the word, the Bibles, and many books have described the man as the head of the house. But if the head is not in place, if the head is missing, the body will fall. True enough, the body will fall. All right? Number three, are you active or inactive in most of your relationships and within the world you live in? Are you active or inactive in most of your relationships and within the world you live in? Are you active or inactive in most of your relationships? Because sometimes we might be there, but it doesn't mean we're active. We might be like saying things like, this is our house, or this is my house, right? But we might not have any activeness within that relationship. We might be totally inactive within that relationship. So we must ask yourself, are you active or inactive? Because it's easy to say I'm active because I'm on the couch. It's easy to say I'm active because I'm having sex at least 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week. It's easy to say active, but there might be a lot of stuff I'm not active with. There might be like, I like cable, but I ain't going to pay nothing on the cable. I might be like, I like to eat, but I ain't going to the store and spend no money on no groceries. It might be like, I want a job, but I ain't looking for no job. And I think a job supposed to boom, 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 knock on the door and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, we got a job for you. But life don't work out like that. We We got to get up. Okay. Number 4. Does your big picture of life fit into your small picture frame you put it in? Does your big picture of life, we got big dreams, big goals, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Does your big picture of life fit into your small picture frame that you put it in? Many times we got this big picture of life, what we going to do? Oh, we got these dreams about traveling to Atlanta, Georgia, traveling to Chicago, traveling to New York. We're going. We're just to leave this town of Oakland. We just to go somewhere. But many times we don't leave off the block that we stayed on, that we grew up on. Matter of fact, we don't leave past the stop sign in the neighborhood or the stoplight in the neighborhood. We just right there. And we got big dreams that we put in small picture frames. So, ask yourself, is that you? All right? 5. Are you known to live each day on what you've done yesterday? Are you known to live each day on what you've done yesterday? Many times we can find ourselves always talking about yesterday. I mean, we can go back. I mean, I got friends. I mean, we go back. I mean, to the 80s and a little bit the 70s and all that. But I'm really focused on the 80s, on the stories that we talk about the 80s. Man, remember back in the day, man? People come up. Remember back in the day, Mr. Counselor? Remember we used to be doing this and doing that? Right? Yeah. And it's great to reminisce on back in the day. But what happens when you are reminiscing back in the day, you can find yourself still stuck back in the day. At a time when there was no computers. And there was a time when there were no cell phones. At a time when you were fortunate to have a beeper. And there are times that we still, but these ain't them times no more. We need to practice on talking about today and what we're going to get ready to do tomorrow and getting ready for tomorrow and future things. Future things is healthy. And when we don't practice that, you can find yourself in a deep depression because you're into yesterday and not today. All right? Number 6. Number 6. It says, my eyes ain't working too good. It says, is the fun you chose in life worth the happiness? It's chosen life worth the pain and misery you cause yourself and others? Is the pain you've chosen in life worth the pain and misery that you find yourself causing others? Many times we have caused many people pain through what we might call fun. And we was just out there doing our thing. Oh, I was young. Oh, I was this and that. And you must ask yourself, has it been worth it? Has it been worth it? I mean, we have some people that have caused so much pain and haven't never asked for forgiveness. We have some people that have even caused mama and daddy pain, and mama and daddy is probably not even here no more and never got to show that we were sorry for any of our actions, any of our behaviors. Our relationship partner, we put so much on them when we say, oh, I was on them drugs, then I was drinking, then I was having problems, then and I mean, like, bam, and then you ain't with them no more. But you ask yourself, and I'm asking you, is it been worth it? The pain and misery you've caused yourself and others, right? Because sometimes everything can't be gotten back. You can't get everything back. So once ask you this kind of question, right? So, 7. Do you now have any new limitations that you are now willing to respect? Like 52 weeks of domestic violence classes. New limitations. Are you willing to respect the classes? Are you willing to respect the sessions with the counselor? Are you willing? Are you willing? Ask yourself, are you willing? Right? to respect the new limitations, right? The rules that tell you that if you catch a case, if you get arrested for a domestic violence issue, the courts and the law of California and many other states will tell you that you are not allowed to go back to the residence that you were arrested from. There's a 30-day stay-away order, right, which can be granted for stay-away up to 3 to 5 years. You know, but there's temporary stay-away order, meaning that even if the house is in your name, even if your name is on the lease, if that person that you may have went to jail for abusing lives there and is going to be there, you are not allowed to come so many feet from them. And you're not allowed to go back to your residence. You may have to call the police to go get your clothes or something of that matter, or wait till you go to court. All right? Now, just a little educational piece for you. All right? Number 8. Does anyone believe that their woman should love and treat you like your mother once treated you and is still treating you? Do you look for, this is a more or less question from the men. I mean, for the men. Are you looking for a woman? Are you looking for a woman to act like mama? You know, pick up behind you and stuff like that. Make your bed up when you leave the house. That kind of stuff. Give you a bib, wipe your mouth off and stuff. Are you looking for that? You know, because I'm not gonna say I ain't looking for none of that, because I do. Well, moms ain't here no more, but like when it came to that cooking, man, thank God for the woman and the cook that I got. I'm thankful for that. You know, yes, it brings it home. It brings it home. It reminds me of some of them good meals. But what else are you looking for the woman to be like in comparison to mama? You know, mama seemed to put up with her boys like, man, I don't know who else will put up with that kind of stuff. But some of us may be looking for a woman to act like mama and accept anything and all things. All right? Number 9. When things are not working out in your relationship, does mama let you come home and sleep in your old bed? When things are not working out in your relationship with your partner, your girlfriend, your man, or whatever, does mama and them let you come home and sleep in your own bed? You know, does she? You know, did she pull out your old school pajamas and say, baby, don't even worry about them. You ain't got to put up with that. Is that what mama do? You know? So, I mention that because I believe we need to focus in on running. Many times, instead of fixing and working on the problem, some of us will tend to run back to the parents' house and let the parents all in your business to try to fix it for you when it's something that you need to fix on your own. All right? Okay. Does anyone believe, number 10, does anyone believe a woman can raise a man? Yes or no? Does anyone believe that a woman can raise a man? Yes or no? This happens to be a question on many levels that I've done many groups with, and I've talked to many people inside the job and even outside the job that some will say, yeah, I raised my son. Yeah, you probably did, right? My grandmama raised us. So yeah, a woman can, so yeah, there's a debate here on can she raise him to be a man, right? Being that she's not a man is a question. All right? Number 11. If you don't believe a woman can raise a man, who would you say raised you? If you disagree. If a woman can't raise a man, who raised you? If you disagree that a woman can raise a man. If you say a woman cannot raise a man, who raised you? Number 12. Someone once said, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is the present. That's why we call it a gift. All right? All right. Thank you again for attending my class. Yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton.